Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to episode 15 of the Win with Music podcast. Today we're looking at growing your audience through social media. I've had a YouTube account for a decade. For the first 4 or 5 years I really didn't do much with it, but it has grown to be a significant driver of income for me. I'll put on the screen for you some stats, current stats from my YouTube channel. You'll note I've got close to 19,000 subscribers, 3.4 million views, and that's come from more than 1,280 video postings that I've made. All of that traffic is 100% organic. I simply post something that I believe in every time, something that I think will be useful to people interested in being better musicians, the entertainment value of my performance clips, the podcasts that I host on YouTube, this one, the Win with Music podcast, and a long-term, long-form interview, very successful podcast that I host called the Music Mind podcast. One of my guests on the Music Mind was a fantastic USA-based acoustic guitarist, Jacob Davis. Jacob's had phenomenal success as a social media star, if you want to call it that. But let's have a listen to Jacob tell how he sort of fell into social media as a tool to promote his music teaching and music performance talents.
I had a lesson probably 4 years ago where a student, a young kid, walked into my lesson room and said, "Have you heard of TikTok?" And I said, I've heard of it, but to my knowledge at that time, TikTok was for kids that did little dancing routines. And I told my student, I said, I'm a 28-year-old man. Like, I have no business. I have no business on this app,
Yeah,
Brian. I was like,
yeah.
what are you talking about? Okay, but I learned something that day that I haven't forgot, which is the kid, the young person who told me that. Let me paraphrase what he was really saying. People will connect with you and they want to, and here's how they'll do it. This is just the avenue.
Yeah.
Nobody in the 60s was saying, gosh, I just hate that we have to put our music on records. If we only had
We could only see
some,
them if we could see
yeah,
them. Yeah, that's right.
no one was saying that, of course, right?
No,
But
no.
social media is such an easy window for someone to see you because it's really not, your music is part of it, certainly. But I'm a big believer that there is more to life than the physical. And so when somebody watches a video of mine, I appreciate what you said about, I look like I enjoy it. Sometimes I am frustrated because I've tried to get this song for a few days. But I think that one of the ways that I've been able to monetize it is by not lying. I kind of have a rule of, hey, I don't get on social media and lie. I don't tell somebody I've got 2 easy steps and you could be Tommy Emmanuel. I would be Tommy Emmanuel if I had those 2 easy steps.
That's right.
But my biggest advice would just be, your social media is really, really a lot simpler than you think it is. So to monetize, I connect with new students via social media. I just make it real simple. Hey, I teach lessons. Here's a link you can visit. Hey, I make arrangements of songs. If you'd like to buy a lesson for that, here's how to do it. And then there's a certain amount of things like I mentioned with B&G at the beginning. I've had some great brand partners that maybe financially have not supported me, but how many musicians listening to this, and you would probably agree, gear's expensive. So if you could partner with a company that says, hey, it benefits us, to send you a microphone. That's how I got this Lawton mic. They were so generous. They just said, hey, we'd love for you to have it. Because I think they know that when I share myself with my fans, my followers, I'm going to share them as well.
It was fascinating to hear Jacob tell the story that a young student of his introduced him to TikTok, the last social media platform that an adult acoustic guitarist would have considered to promote his music teaching services. For me, I've recently started an Instagram account just for the fun of it. In the past month, it's received over 30,000 views, and it's clearly another avenue where I can introduce my music and my music services to a much wider audience. I've taught students in 13 countries around the world via formerly Skype and now Zoom. Every single one of those international students found me through my YouTube account. It's a much wider audience than I could ever hope to achieve living in a reasonably small regional area of Australia. Remember always, bring music into your life and you'll win with music every day. Let's close out watching a duet I recorded with Jacob Davis to end his episode on the Music Mind podcast. Jacob does a wonderful acoustic guitar version of the Ray Charles classic, Georgia on My Mind, and I join in with Jacob on the slide dobro.